What's up guys, CyberHoudini here and welcome back to your daily dose of gaming. We are live, it is the 6th of May. Welcome on in, settle in because we've got a jam-packed day for you guys. Lots and lots of gaming news and we're gonna slide over to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We are on the hunt for that platinum and we're this close. So we're gonna finish that up today, hopefully. All in lovely preparation for Resident Evil Village. Tomorrow we played the DLC End of Zoe and Not a Hero for Resident Evil 7. That was super fun. I actually had a lot more fun than I was expecting. Hell yes. So that got me in the mood. I'm super excited. Reviews are coming in left, right and center. Very, very positive stuff. Alright, cool. Hello Cyber, how's it going? Bernie, how you guys doing? How is everybody's Thursday going? How's your fucking Thursday, you fucking bastards? How you doing? Alright, let's start things off. We're talking about Resident Evil Village. They just dropped the launch trailer. These are always super fun. This one actually has music as well. We're used to the Resident Evil 7
Where's Rose?
Music.
She's everything to me.
Lots of talk of babies and stuff. Ooh, that was kind of weird.
I think it's time you left things in my hands. Go on.
What the hell? This is probably gonna be super spoilery. Sounds like VR. May 7th. Oh man, a lot of people excited for this one. Super prepped for it. I believe it is just under 30 gigs for any of you guys wondering the file size. I want to say like 27, 28 gigs. You can also pick up the previous generation, like the PS4 and Xbox One version, and get the Xbox Series X and PS5 version for free. That's the way I did it. I saved 10 bucks. I'm getting the game for like 55 bucks. I'm super hyped. I love it because some stores are charging 73 and it feels like I'm getting like 20 euro off. So good. Thursday's gone good. I'm gonna take a few weeks off. Alright, no worries, man. All good. I know it's super hard and it's probably frustrating to try and get people in. I always feel like consistency is the best thing you can do. Just kind of hope. It's all just a luck game after all. And on the far side of things, you've got Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which is coming out next week. That is actually running, I think, 84 gigs because of all those 4K assets and that. But if you're into this kind of stuff, you can actually go and download. They've made available all of the deluxe versions and all of the cool little digital art books, soundtracks, everything for free on their website. That runs at about 1.8 gigs. I think you download it as a file to your PC, but it's all there. It's really cool of them to do that. There's a huge comic book and everything. 88 tracks. Wow. Hell yeah, that's super awesome to do that. Yeah, look, you get the first issues of Mass Effect Redemption and Mass Effect Evasion comic books. Now, we know that a lot of those comic books served as, prequels or prologues or, in-between game kind of stories. And it's super cool. Super cool they're giving all that stuff away for free. There's a little bit of controversy around certain DLCs missing or the multiplayer from 3 being gone, but it is a sign of the times, and we're just glad to be getting what we're getting for sure. I mean, you can always, go play the originals. I know EA are not going to support these servers and things forever. Some games barely even get like 2 years out the block. But yeah, super excited. A lot of busy games. We don't have a single week this week of sleeping. Just more and more games. Hell yeah. But yeah, it's important to take breaks from time to time. So it's all good, man. We're here for you. Yeah, go download. Yeah, 1.7 gigs. It's all on their website. You can navigate it that way. Weirdly enough, it's on the store as well, but it leads nowhere. So I don't know what they were playing at there. But it's nice to get that kind of digital stuff. Especially the soundtrack for the Mass Effect games is pretty badass. It's a Star Wars level. Hell yeah. Alright, cool. That's a nice little look. I always try and capture how big the file size is for these new games because I think that's something that most of us want to know about, but we forget to ask until we have the game in our hands and we're like, damn it, I don't have enough room on my hard drive. So it's always nice just to get that going. Obviously it's going to differentiate between consoles and PC. The size usually it's smaller on PC because of compression and that. They all have 4K assets and 4K cutscenes and all that, so it's all still there. It's just how the consoles handle the downloads. A lot of them is double the size for very little reason. Alright, cool. So, on to the next piece of news. It looks like Sony are in massive hot water now. More and more fallout from this Epic versus Apple lawsuit. It just keeps getting worse and worse. And apparently, like I just said, I did actually mention this during the week, that there would be probably more lawsuits out of this, and it's actually happening right now. So apparently both Sony and Valve, we got Polygon reporting on this, both Sony and Valve are going to be sued for having a monopoly on their stores, basically not allowing people to use you know, third-party codes. It's probably got to do with a lot of their refund policies as well, which have been cancerous for a long time. You know, to get a refund out of Sony's store, you have to literally fucking pray at a wishing well, find a pot of gold, rub the arse of a leprechaun, anything you can do just to get a refund back, even if it's a mistake purchase, you know. Some of the other stores are a little bit better, but it's high time that they all step it up a little bit. Steam seem to be the best of the bunch. You've got 2 weeks and under 2 hours played, no questions asked. And although you might say, dude, that's 2 hours. 2 hours is enough time to see if the game runs on your system, if you like the game. If you're, like, most people can finish games in 2 hours, so yeah. So I think Steam, they just have so much money, they don't really care necessarily. So it's always, you'll always see that kind of stuff with the bigger publishers and platforms. When they get so big, they're like, yeah, we don't mind giving back, you know, refunds and that. How's it going, Eric? I just saw your tweet, dude. Damn. I think that was for the best, though. Don't feel bad about it. Yeah, it's going to take longer, but as long as you feel comfortable, dude. It'd be worse if you were up in the air, you know, for like an hour or whatever, and then had like a panic attack or something. So don't worry about that, Eric. Just as long as you get there safely, it doesn't matter, man. Safe travels. Safe travels. That's all that matters. Bikini streamer? Soon enough. How's it going, Derpa? How's it going? Bikini. I'm going to do the hot tub, the whole lot. Why the hell not? Jesus Christ. I'm going to get one of those little kiddie pools, you know, SpongeBob and Patrick, and just sit on a big Patrick blow-up doll. Oh, yes. SpongeBob, what are you doing? How's everybody doing? I love it. It's getting to that point. People have said that I have so much meavlage, which is the male cleavage, meavlage, that it might as well be a bikini streamer. But trust me, most of these bikini streamers are more hairier than I. And I have a seriously hairy chest. I put Austin Powers to shame. But you're a tiger, baby. You're a tiger. Appreciate it. About 10 hours. Yeah, dude, look, at the end of the day, feck it, you know? You gotta be comfortable. It doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm the same. You should see me in like a pool of water. I start hyperventilating. So we all have our vices, you know, and our, you know, everyone has that one fear. Other people might find it rational or whatever. But no, I think there's a lot of people, my mom especially, she has a massive fear of flying. So it's there, you know. Just get there safely. Come back safe, Eric. That's all that matters. It's the most hypocritical shit from Apple. Yeah, don't get me started. It's so silly. But here's the funny thing, what I like about it, I couldn't care less. They're two giants, two very, you know, hungry bastards fighting. We'll be the ones to get all the spoils. But all of the dirty laundry coming out, it's so funny. So, like, not only has we found out that Sony are actually the only platform trying to charge Epic for crossplay, which is disgusting practice, of course. You know, it's like you're not some holier than thou platform that you get to go, oh, you get to cross-platform with the mighty PlayStation? Oh, fuck, pay me. No, that's not how this works at all. It's not a privilege. And then you've got like people like Tim Sweeney, who's always been kind of questionable anyway. He's the CEO of Epic, writing Sony emails going like, you're making players not be able to play together. You're breaking their hearts. You're destroying their family. It was all the stupidest email I've ever heard written. Like, you're breaking up families. There's going to be so many divorces because you won't let them play Fortnite together. Oh my god, what the hell. But yeah, so Valve are also in a little bit of hot water over this as well. The whole idea of calling it a monopoly, it's basically them saying what they've been trying to do is crack down, obviously, on, you know, people who steal credit cards and buy codes and keys of games with them. You know, obviously, but it's a terrible grey area where they can't prove that the credit card is necessarily stolen until the person who got it stolen reports it, you know? Just the way it is. It's out there. So you've got something like, Steam and Sony where they have to go, okay, we're going to have to stop people using third-party codes, but that kind of causes a monopoly, which is what they're being sued over. But for now, it's just a class action lawsuit, so they don't usually go that far. We've got class action lawsuits for the controller drift on the Joy-Con, Nintendo. All of the manufacturers are in hot water over that, and most of the time they won't go anywhere. It's class action is nothing to snuff at either, but it's not exactly fucking Supreme Court or something. It's a step above small claims court. But once you get all those people together and you get those petitions, usually it's enough to cause the platform to do something about it. But we'll see. Who knows? At the end of the day, there's just so much money rolling in that they see that as a minor problem. And most of these accessories are built to break, not built to last. They literally have it down to a fine art, like 2 million button presses or whatever, and it just breaks so I wouldn't be surprised if they were 3D printing some of these parts. And they just snap as soon as you use them. Anyway, hello Amid, hello, good evening, yes, good evening, welcome in, dude. Today's going to be a nice, exciting day. We got some interesting news, some good trailers, and we're going to go for the platinum for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, put it to bed. Yeah, it did feel really bad at the time. No, don't worry about that. Sure, Jesus, flight delays are a thing of the norm. In fairness, dude, you probably give more people a wake-up call, because nobody should be flying right now. We're not quite out of the water. We're just dipping our toes in piranha waters with the whole vaccine and stuff. People just can't. Like, even my family's the same. My mother and father just got the first vaccine, and they're already, like, driving around doing stuff. I'm like, Jesus, just wait a little bit longer, and you can have that bubble, that sense of peace of mind that you have both vaccines, Because I don't got no vaccine yet. And no one my age, I don't think, has it, unless you're a severe health risk. But yeah, we'll see what comes of this. It's just more fallout from the Epic and Apple stuff. It's wild. Every day I learn something new. Like, apparently, Xbox also have been, trying to get xCloud onto Epic and everywhere, the Game Pass, and they don't want that at all. So it's funny. Alright, cool. On to one of the bigger news stories of today. Is a PS5 Slim already in the works? Well, it looks like it is. Now, this could just be a refresh, but usually it's around 3 years after the launch, and if this is going the way it is, it looks like they're already queuing up the possible redesign for a PS5 Slim. We've got Video Game Chronicles reporting on this. So, if they're thinking of, getting design ready, getting manufacturing ready for next year, you would assume that it's something that would probably launch maybe late next year or 2023, I'd say. So that would be around 3 years. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it was out in November, fucking 2020. I don't know. We'll see. It does seem a little bit early to me, but this might be a way for them to get around this constant issue of supply that they have, This might be a way, because they're constantly competing with, Xbox, and so the Xbox Series X and the PS5 both are going after the same silicon chip, which was kind of foolish. I don't know how they didn't see this coming, with or without COVID. It's like millions and millions of things coming from the same outlet when everything else is being underused, There's only so many silicon chip factories that do this stuff anymore. They've kind of moved away. Back in, the 360 days and Xbox One and PS4, there was, over a dozen different silicon manufacturers, but that's kind of shrunk a good bit. Just the way it goes, Usually what happens is one is the big successor and the others kind of die out, or they're eaten up by the bigger guy. How many hours have you on? Oh, Jesus, dude, I think I have like 150, but it's been so much off-time play as well. I think we've had people come in here and said that he's finished the game in about 65 hours, so that's around the average. Yeah, it is definitely 150 for sure. But in terms of how many streams I've done on it, it's about the same as other Assassin's Creed games, I'd say. I don't often go for the platinum, so a lot of these stuff I've done myself, like 100% in each territory, which took an awful bollocking long time. So it's far too big. The game's about 30 hours too long for its own good, and it kind of does interfere, I think, with the fun. I've talked to so many people who's like, yeah, I'm burnt out. So I was hoping it's something they wouldn't go into again, because they'd already burnt out a lot of people already. But yeah, interesting times for sure. I know the PS5 is still selling as many as they can. You know, as soon as they're manufactured, they're being sold through the roof. I think they're at around 8 million out there. So I know it's still very hard to get your hands on one, but they are there. They're out there. You just gotta be careful. I still see people on Twitter. I used to follow a couple of groups that, you know, would track the stock for you, so you could get in there before the bots and the fucking scalpers would, you know. And they're still, you know, helping people get consoles. So, you know, if you're pretty lucky, you can still get some. And I've seen people who have, you know, gone into Walmart and places like that over in the US, Target especially, and they went in early and was able to nab one, you know. So yeah, it's just keep your eye out. There's no rush to get these things, but if you're really needing one, like right now we've just got Returnal, which is a brand new exclusive, but you know, that's very mixed, that one. So there's no real rush. I would say the one by the time Horizon Zero Dawn 2 comes out, it might be, you know, worth having one, I'd say. Anyway, interesting that they're talking about a PS5 Slim. It definitely could do with a Slim version. This might be the first PlayStation console that is so massive it makes the fat PS3 look tiny, you know. It's crazy. So it might actually need a Slim. Good God, it is huge. Like, as I look at it right beside me here, it's bigger than my monitors that are standing vertically. Good God, good God. All right, that's good. So we can have another brief little look at the launch trailer for Resident Evil Village has just dropped. It's very, very short, like 30 seconds. I think it was just their way of putting a little song to it like they did with Resident Evil 7. It's a little bit spoilery. That's coming out tomorrow. I'm hoping to be playing that. I'm super excited. I can't believe it's been 4 years since Resident Evil 7. We played a little bit of the DLC in preparation. Awesome. Alright, cool. Any Left 4 Dead fans out there? The spiritual successor of Back 4 Blood, which will be coming hopefully sometime this year if there's no more delays. It's been made by Turtle Rock Studios, who actually are made up of a lot of old Left 4 Dead developers, and they made the game Evolve. Looks really cool. So they're now talking about a cool deck building card system supported on by Eurogamer. So they're adding and trying to improve things, which is really cool. So this might keep people playing Back 4 Blood a little bit. It looks really cool. You can definitely obviously tell that is major influence by Left 4 Dead. It's like a next gen Left 4 Dead, you know. But yeah, I'm super excited for this, you know. I think Left 4 Dead, even today, and Left 4 Dead 2, it never gets old. It's such a great game, especially you have a few drinks with friends, blast some zombies. Why not, you know? And the fact that they supported Evolve for almost 3 years afterwards, it was very impressive. Like, Evolve didn't quite get as much love as it deserved. But it's a good sign that they'll support Back 4 Blood, you know? Let's get a little volume in there. I don't like using outside video players because they're rubbish. Yeah, let's see what this deck building is all about. Maybe you can change how the zombies look like in that. You'll never quite beat the, you know, the tank, the smoker, the witch, you know, but we'll see. I'm definitely here for it. Those little character pictures, the cards and that does definitely make me think Dead by Daylight. Well, what I think Left 4 Dead did really well is it gave you this feeling of a story mode while not quite being a story mode. It was, you know, more like just escape rooms, escape levels. That's cool. God damn. That guy looks like Greg Miller. I love a good old-fashioned zombie slaying game. You know, I still play Killing Floor 2 to this day because I can't help myself. I don't think this is a full release either. I'm really sure I saw it pop up on the PlayStation Store for like, is it 50 or 60? But if you're very lucky, you can find some great deals even on the store. How many? Yeah, I think they fixed Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. There's a nasty little bug in my one where it keeps going bonus content unlocked and it just pops up all the time. It's a known issue though. You know how it is, every update brings another disaster. But today, I think we have like 1 or 2 more areas. And then I have all the trophies set up in a perfect line. So it should be bop, bop, bop. Now, if the 100% each area trophy doesn't pop, that could be trouble. So I'm a little bit worried about that one. Because I technically have each area done. But there might be some like secret criteria, or it just didn't register something. So that could be bad. But we'll see. Keep your fingers crossed for that one. A couple of the end ones are about Thor's armor and his hammer and that, so that's really cool. That can only be done at the end of the game, so I'm hyped for that. I think Assassin's Creed Valhalla fell into the issue of they were so used to doing Assassin's Creed every year, so giving them an extra year ended up with far too much content, you know, where they probably should have spent more time working on, you know, bugs, some of the other open world games maybe. Pretty cool. I like the idea of deck building. I'll keep you coming back. Almost adds a whole randomizer to the thing. There's so many of these kind of games now. A lot of these, like you can see, like Reverse, Resident Evil Reverse, and that. They tend to be like a free extra mode with the game or free to play, so it's getting tougher and tougher for these kind of games to really show themselves off. Like you see that game coming out called, what was it, Hood Outlaws and that, which is like Robin Hood and that. I don't know how well that game is gonna fare. And then, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, back-end stuff, maybe some duplicating. Yeah, well, see, there's always been them glitches with the Assassin's Creed. People love duping items and that. You have the games for so long. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely pick up the Left 4 Dead games for a couple of bucks. Or in like a humble bundle or whatever. They're still so worth it. So much fun. I think this is what really makes these games shine, and that is the ease of use, you know? Being able to matchmake and play with your friends, drop in, drop out. That's what we want. At the end of the day, we are, you know, we're just gamers who want to have fun. And fun usually means, you know, easy entry, easy exit kind of thing, you know? That sounds kinky. But, you know, I always say this, I really do think that was one of the big reasons why Fortnite was such a big success. You know, obviously it's the kids as well, but the fact that no matter how many times you would die, it's just like, ah, fuck it, I'm straight back in, you know? And you could tell every single other Battle Royale, and even games that weren't Battle Royale, like Rogue Company, copied the same idea of this whole idea of dropping in again, dropping in. It's just lobby, drop in, lobby, drop in. It's very clever. It really is just like 2 screens every time. And that's the beauty of it. Anyway, so that's Back for Blood. Definitely adding some new little stuff to it. I'm excited for them. I wish them the best. Like I said, I would love to see like Evolve too. Evolve was that one of the first kind of 4v1, you know, 4 soldiers versus monster. But the monsters in Evolve are super cool. Right at the end, they added this spider monster, and it's fucking crazy. You could just zip around the map. But yeah, just it didn't get enough love. I think you either are too early to the game or too late to the game. It's hard to be an innovator when people are kind of sketchy as it is. But yeah, so 12th of October. It was meant to come out in August, Back for Blood, but now it has a new release date of 12th of October. It might help us, you know, being close to Halloween. Why not? Hell yes. Alright, cool. Speaking of Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft, and we've got a little bit of an update about the Division universe. Apparently, they've got 2 new games in development. I don't know if you got any The Division fans out there. I just picked up The Division 2 for about $6. I'm going to play that, hopefully, shortly enough, you know, over the next couple of weeks, maybe. Get a little crew together. I played a good bit of the first Division, and once I got into the dark area, which is where you fight against other players, and they're kind of spawn camping and that, it got a little bit rough. But I hear good things about the second game. So that might be a bit of fun. So straight off, they have announced the Division Heartland, which is going to be a free-to-play entry. And I think this is probably where they wanted to go with the Division 2 as well. These guys are a great developer. They're Massive Entertainment. They're basically, I think Ubisoft maybe owns them. I'm not too sure. But they worked on the first Division, and they're working on a Star Wars game. They're really cool, really cool. There's also a mobile Division game coming. But I know less said about that one, the better. But it's nice to see them branching out a little bit. This could be cool, you know. Free to play seems to be where this series should go. I would have said the same about what is it, Tom Clancy's Wildlands, Breakpoint, and that. Or I can never think of the name of those ones, but they should have been free to play. Because Ubisoft, they've done a lot of those kind of 4-player, 2-player co-op shooters, and Far Cry being the bigger one. So it's a lot tougher when you put out another game that's very similar to that. You're competing with your own, you know, it's like biting the hand that feeds you. But, you know, there's a lot of Tom Clancy games out there. You don't see as many Tom Clancy movies, though. But there is that new one out with Michael B. Jordan in it, right? Without Remorse. I want to watch that. It's supposed to be pretty good. But yeah, so I think the Division is creating basically its own universe at this point. Yeah, they're really good third-person shooters. We'll see how the free-to-play one goes. The fact that it's called Heartland makes me think that it's probably going to be in the heartland of America. I always wondered where they'd go next. We started in New York. The Division 2 takes place in Washington, D.C. So you've done a lot of the East Coast. So what do you do next? My first thought was maybe to go to, like, Hollywood. You know, they're post-apocalyptic kind of games, but more about the crash of society rather than zombies, you know. They've never put any zombies or anything into it. We'll see. Give them time, though. Give them time. So, where would you consider the heartland of America? Is that like, I don't know, I'm not very good. Is that like North and South Dakota? Is that like Arkansas? That kind of area? Is it Texas? Isn't there a state that's called the Heartlands? No? Or am I just thinking of something else? I'm sorry, I'm really bad on geography and stuff. Nebraska? Ooh. See, when I see water towers like that, it's pretty cool, but it makes me think of like Wisconsin, maybe. But see, my picture of Wisconsin is different than actual Wisconsin. Probably way colder up there than I'm thinking. That's cool, Eric. Thank you. Nice. It could be a little bit different, right? Because I feel like a lot of the State of Decay games take place in somewhere similar, like Nebraska. Gonna start my 10-hour drive. Alright, no worries. Good luck. Safe travel, dude. Thank you for hanging out, Eric. Be safe, man. I'm glad you got there safe and got everything sorted. Alright, let's see. What have we got here? Yeah, we talked about Mass Effects. It's going to be about 84 gigs. You can now download a whole lot of free stuff. Free digital comic books. 88-track soundtrack. It's all there for free. Go check it out. Go check out the website. You can download it to your PC, laptop, whatever you want. But it's super nice. It's everything that came with the deluxe versions of the old games. And some of the comic books are beautiful. And they're all tie-ins to each of the games. So it's a really nice package to get while you play the new Legendary trilogy, you know. And you can tie in each of the games. It's awesome. Very cool of them. A nice little, you know, freebie given back to the fans, I suppose. We all know how annoying those kind of pre-order bonuses are. And it's like, I'm not paying $5 in here and $5 there down the line. It's always a little bit annoying. Just because you missed the pre-order or didn't feel like pre-ordering. I don't like that kind of stuff. Alright, cool. On to the next piece of news. Super happy about this. And weirdly, just the way the world works for me sometimes. Because I did take a break from this game. But Remnant from the Ashes. The game that they gave away for PS Plus. Really cool game from Gunfire Games, who made Darksiders 3. They have a next-gen free upgrade. So you're going to have that 4K 30 or 1080 60 on Series X or PS5. I was waiting for this. We've been playing a good bit of this over the course of the last couple of months with Pyro and Swamp and that. And we were going to jump into the DLC. And this is a definite good reason to do that. The game already ran pretty damn smooth. Hopefully this will also allow for smaller load screens, because you do kind of feel them between the levels. But it's nice to get that 60 for sure, and really cool. Great developer. These guys, they kind of came out of the woodwork for sure. Good for them. They've worked on a lot of stuff. Gunfire Games. They also made a prequel to this called Chronos from the Ashes, and it's a closer to a third-person hack and slash Souls-like, which is really cool. I hear it's a bit janky though, but I'd like to pick it up for, you know, a little cheaper. But anyway, Remnant from the Ashes is super cool. It's straight up shooter Souls. The matchmaking's awesome, and the difficulty is right there. And it feels really good. Usually, you know, big old bosses and shooters, they don't work out that well. You know, it's either Destiny or nothing these days. Or Borderlands. So Borderlands kind of fell a little bit. But yeah, pretty cool that they're doing that. I'm glad. I know they probably would have loved to have this ready for the PS Plus release, but it is what it is. It's hard times these days, so it's super cool that the developers are still supporting these games. I think Remnant came out in 2019, I believe, so they're still supporting it, and I'd like to play the DLC. I hear good things. It's really cool as well. You can re-roll the campaigns to get different bosses. It's a very unique game, you know. There's over like 30 bosses, and every time you play the game, you're going to see different ones, and it really is true. Super cool. So, alright, so that update will be landing May 13, the day before Mass Effect, so nice to have that. For sure, for sure, for sure. Whenever I see a game of any kind get like a 60 frames a second update and that, it really makes me want to jump back in. Love it. It really does make it feel new again. On the next piece of news, we have a new trailer for Scarlet Nexus. This is a brand new anime hack and slash game. Very, very cool. Whoa! This is why I don't use third-party video players. But it looks really cool. This is completely animated. This is coming out in, I want to say June, unless it got pushed back. It might remind you of things like Code Vein and that. But it's right up my alley. This one, unfortunately, is only single player. I did enjoy Code Vein with Proper Play. Proper Play. Proper Play's been doing an anime arena in the Mugen. It's really, really cool. He's put a lot of work into it. I'd love for you guys to check that out. I was able to, so you can go and select and pick out your favorite fighters from your favorite animes and watch them fight together. You can trade, battle. It's super cool. Super cool. And you can tell he's super passionate about it, and I love to see that. I love when these kind of games, when they have these anime openings, it just makes me just absolutely, what would be the word? Craigasm? Yes. Definitely. Definitely. Super cool. Scarlet Nexus is its name. It's done by Namco Bandai. It's got a cool idea. It's definitely been marketed by Xbox. You know, they're trying to get as many Japanese-style games on board. It's coming to pretty much everything. It's not as exclusive or anything. It's really cool. The combat looks sick as well. So yeah, we're going to be busy this summer. I can't wait. We'll also have... yeah, it's super fucking cool. What's funny about these kind of trailers is they don't show a lick of actual gameplay. You're like, can I do that in game? No, of course you can't. Red battle attire, cool. So there's all the stuff you can get in the deluxe edition. You know how it is these days. I always find it funny with digital art books because, I don't know, to me, if I'm going to go out of my way to get an art book, I want to smell that ink. I want to see it. I want to feel it. I love art books. I think I'm getting the steelbook for Resident Evil 8, although it doesn't seem to be too much to write home. There's like an eye in the front and the whole symbol. It'll probably make sense in game. I like when they go out of their way with the steelbooks. So when I see a bit of like, not lazy artwork, but just a little bit more on the simple side, kind of makes me sad. So I'm like, damn, there's a missed opportunity. Like, look at a game like Mass Effect, Mafia 3, which a lot of people thought was kind of so-so. And I think it was really cool, but it had one of the coolest fucking steelbooks ever. It's like this shot of this guy who was about to get driven over. Oh look, we're actually cool because I'm doing the Daily Dose of Game and we're not mirrored. So he's about to be driven over by this car, by Lincoln Clay. Thought that was really cool. And obviously red. I'm a sucker for red. That blood red. So I absolutely love steelbooks. I'm a sucker for them. It's my new thing, you know. While everyone's collecting Funkos, I'm out here collecting steelbooks because I think it's like a unique video game kind of art. It's almost like, say, like vinyl record sleeves, something like that, right? Kind of, I suppose. It's an opportunity for some more art. Why not? And they look real nice on the shelf. So hell yeah. Yeah, such a sucker for special editions. Exactly. I always try and get, like, there was a TV edition of Little Nightmares 2 where there was a tiny little diorama of them being sucked into a TV. It wasn't too expensive either. So I like that. The same with Limited Run. They do an amazing job on collector's editions. Like, stuff the actual makers of the game don't do themselves. Fuck yeah. Alright, cool. Let me just double check the release date of Scarlet Nexus. If you're here, oh man, I can't get rid of these ads quick enough. Swear to God. Sorry about that. Just the way it is. Let's see, does it say release date? Sorry, I'm nearly sure it's June. Yeah, June 25th. There we go. Hell yes. Unless there's any delays or anything, but I wish them the best. I'll be playing that. It's right up my alley. And speaking of which, we've got more great news about E3 this year, which is awesome. So far, you get Square Enix, Sega, Bandai Namco, and we know Xbox is going to be there as well. It's all going to be digital, of course. Even recently, Gamescom was going to do a kind of a hybrid conference, like half physical, half digital. That's usually the It's basically like Europe's E3. It happens in August in Cologne, Germany. But they've decided to back away from that and just go strictly digital, which I think is a great idea. Let's give the world a chance to heal, you know. We've got the vaccine coming. People are a little bit apprehensive, so it's going to take a long time for, you know, what we need, which is like 90% of the world to be vaccinated. But it is what it is. I cannot... anytime I see people have a full-blown discussion about, you know, anti-vaccine and all this crap and the fear-mongering that's going around, I have to switch off immediately because it's horrible. And I see more and more teenagers doing it as well. And I don't know why, but it's become such a politically charged thing, and I hate that. It's like, what are you talking about? This is science. This is medicine. This is a savior. You know, of course there's going to be little side effects, but they're in the decimal points, you know. It's so silly to make things politically charged. I hate that. I blame politics and politicians for that because they can't help themselves. They have to. Same with the masks as well. The masks are apparently a political stunt as well. Yeah. Okay. I don't talk about this stuff very often because it just starts rows, but it's just so silly. Like, can we get back to this? People want to go back. We want to get back to music gigs, concerts, festivals, conferences, game conferences, Comic-Cons, going to the fucking theater, going to the stores. Let us live again. Let's kill this fucking virus. Don't be silly. Stop listening to these crazy people. And let's just get vaccinated and get this out of the way. Let's try and live the rest of this fucking year in safety, right? Hell yes. Cyber, what's up? Hello, DPG. Welcome on in. I'm glad to see you, man. I'm glad to see you. Such a sucker. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I went on a big tangent there, but I always feel like I just need to shout it from the rooftop because I can only imagine what the whole world is like if this little country is already pretty... you know, split on these issues. So silly. Anyway, so you know that I love E3. E3 is like Christmas for gamers. It's the best, and it comes in June, which is super cool. We're very lucky like that. We get a lot of our news split out through the year, you know, and then a lot of the big releases is, you know, usually November, March, things like that. So we're very lucky like that. You know, anyone else, you wait for that one moment. Like, look at, you know, DC or Marvel fans. A lot of that is they have like a big conference once a year, and that's it. Or, you know, you'd have your big moments at Christmas or whatever. But we get it all throughout the year. I love it. I absolutely love E3. You know, the establishment behind it are a little bit, you know, nefarious at this point. But the idea of E3 will live long beyond any of the ESA who control, you know, E3. Apparently, to just have a booth at E3, it was getting into the ballpark of $20 million. Isn't that crazy? Where does that money go? It's just filling the pockets of these old fat executives. Where does that money go? So that's why a lot of these indie developers decided, let's actually put that money into our game and we don't need a big old booth. So you see more and more of this kind of digital event stuff going on, or Devolver Digital, which are definitely the outliers. They've said long ago that they're not a big fan of E3 in their practices, so they basically just set up shop across the road, which I love that. They're definitely the yeah, they're like the resistance members or something. It cracks me up because at the end of the day, you know, it's obviously it's not the same when it's digital versus being there and awesome conferences and that, but you know, the games are going to come out, the trailers are going to come out anyway, so why not make it the best experience possible? So if I was them, I would probably do away with E3 and do their own little thing, but, you know, still have their conferences. The thing that makes me laugh is all this blood and sweat and tears and war over E3, and you've got Gamescom just going, yeah, we just do the same thing in Europe, no bullshit. So why did they have to allow these you know, evil corporations to rule over a little bit of fun that we have, you know? So silly, as if, you know, people another organization can't just organize this kind of same event even a month later at, you know, it's usually the Staples Center in LA. It's not that big a deal. They host things the whole time. Well, obviously not lately with how things are going on, but before that, you know, before that. Anyway, cool. So, you know, the way with E3 is going on, we know that every single game we're hoping to see. I'll be doing my usual live coverage as much as I can. Predictions, of course. I'm excited for everything. Hell yes. Especially this being the first full year of next generation. A lot of these developers are super pumped to show what they've been working at. You know, even if it's a year or two out. Hell yeah. Will Jedi Fallen 2, Order 2 happen? Yeah, it will. It's going to take some time, though. Those guys are busy on a couple of things. Apparently, there's supposed to be a Mandalorian game coming out, and it's going to be made by the Coalition, which made Gears of War, so it may be like a Xbox and PC exclusive. But yeah, now that the... Thank fuck for that, but now that the red tape is off the Star Wars license in terms of video games, we're going to see a lot more, right? EA are supposed to have 2 more games as well, so you might see Battlefront 3, I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Oh yes, super fun times. I just played. What did you do for May the 4th? I know you're a massive Star Wars fan, DPG. I end up playing Star Wars Bounty Hunter, which is super fun. I'm gonna return to it. It's pity about the black bars, but it is what it is. All right, cool. We're almost finished with today's news already. Whew, it goes fast and furious, and I don't even bite my tongue. What are the chances? What are the chances? I do sometimes. Alright, so we've got some great little financial report about the Nintendo Switch. It is selling like hotcakes. It's super good to see Nintendo, if not back on top, but doing very profitable again. Because I promise you, Nintendo bring that lovely magic. And, oh Jesus, Death's Gardener? Thank you for subscribing. What a great name as well. Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for subscribing. Hell yes. So it seems like Nintendo Switch have sold 84 million. That's amazing. Wow. I remember when they reported 50 million. And even up until a couple of months ago, I was saying that they had over 50 million. But 84 million? Wow. And like a lot of their games as well selling like crazy. Most games will not sell like 10 million in their lifetime. But somehow Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold 10 million copies in a year. In a year. That is impressive. Love you too. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. That's so nice to hear. Thank you so much for that. I know it's probably hard to understand me. Sometimes I talk fast. I have an Irish accent, but I appreciate that. Cheers. And thank you for coming over. You didn't have to do that. I do. Most of the stuff is like, you know, live right here. But I try and put it on the YouTube as much as I can. Especially for people like you. Thank you. Thank you for that. That really gives me a boost of motivation for sure. I took a little break there for a while with fucking tech issues, but it happens. It happens. That's why I've been saying to people, you know, buy extra mics and cameras and monitors if you can afford them. But yeah, pretty cool. Good times for the Switch. There is the rumor of the Switch Pro coming out. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. You know, E3 is coming up. If they do, I think it's all but confirmed. But if they do bring it out, I hope they wait till next March. That would be the 5-year anniversary, if you can believe it, of the Switch. In a perfect world, this is what I would see. I'd see the Nintendo Pro, or the Switch Pro, coming out March with the launch of Breath of the Wild 2, Pokemon Legends, which is this open world Pokemon game they're working on, and Metroid Prime 4. And I think that would be just sweet as a button. It would give them enough time this year to do things like the Metroid Prime trilogy on Switch, a 35-year anniversary of Legend of Zelda on Switch. That'd be great. Things like that. You know, we still got time. I know a lot of people are kind of split down the middle about, you know, re-releases and remasters and collections and that. I get that for sure. But at the end of the day, each new generation is around 10 years. You know, generation of consoles and generations of people. Just the way it is, you know, 10 to 15 years. So the way I see it is, it may not be something you want to play again so soon. But know that maybe, you know, Breath of the Wild was some kid's first Legend of Zelda game, you know, or Mario Odyssey was their first Mario game. So at the end of the day, we all make memories. I'll never knock people. People always feel like, oh, this is my first game, or you know, like it's no, you can't knock that kind of stuff. We all have to start somewhere, and the thing I like, I'm always happy to see just new gamers coming in, you know. Hell yeah. There's a new Division. Yeah. There is. It's going to be free to play. Probably not till next year. So there's no rush on that. Bring all the remakes and remaster. Yeah, exactly. I actually agree with you, because at the end of the day, we live in a world where, you know, emulation is slowly but surely been snuffed out, which is kind of sad. So a lot of legacy content is disappearing, you know, and it's sad to say that Xbox is one of the platforms that are keeping, you know, their games alive the longest, and that's so silly to even say, you know, like the fact that you could go and put in a original Xbox game from, you know, 2001 into your Series X from 2021, and it'll work and play, you know, whereas Nintendo, are slipping a little bit. You know, I miss the virtual console. I do. Because I think that although they were charging, you know, sometimes a little hefty for some of them, but a little hefty price, but it was worth it just to keep them alive for sure. Now we've got the Nintendo Online, which is it's not bad. You know, maybe it's getting there. Gotta give them a little bit of time, but I can't believe it's been 5 years. I think I have my Switch around a year, I'd say. No, it's probably more than that. I'm trying to think what was the first game. I really splashed out. I think still one of my favorite games on it that not a lot of people talk about is Luigi's Mansion 3. I felt like I was at a Disney. I was at the Disney World or something, you know. It was like a theme park. It was so much fun. But yeah, it's great news about Nintendo doing very, very well. I've no doubt that the Switch Pro will do even better as well. We'll just see how they do with pricing. Right now, I'd say between the Switch and the Switch Lite, they really need to, you know, get those sales going. But they don't need to in terms of, you know, it would just be a nice kind of thing at this point. But yeah, Nintendo are definitely the biggest winner in all of this pandemic for sure. Not only with the launch of, you know, Animal Crossing New Horizons, just in general. And it's been widely known, and you can see it in the numbers, that once someone buys a Switch, once they get into that Nintendo magic, they buy, you know, so much. Like the fact that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is a very old Mario Kart game at this point, it was a Wii U game, is still selling 10 million copies a year. Wow, that is insane. Absolutely insane. So you can imagine every other game is getting that bump as well, you know, like Breath of the Wild is a masterpiece. There's so many great games on there. Yeah, they can be a little bit expensive, but, you know, it's a great little system. Hell yes. So for the Pro, they've talked about, you know, making the screen closer to maybe 7 inches, which would, if you look at your Switch right now, would probably take out the black bars around the screen. Hopefully they can fix the Joy-Con manufacturing issues, because it's clearly somebody is dropping the ball in terms of quality assurance there. What else did they say? 4K, probably 4K screen or something like that. There was rumors of them using the DLSS, which is deep learning super sampling, and it's basically machine learning resolution boosting. So they will render the game at 720, but it'll boost it to 4K, or, you know, things like that. It's really, really cool. And how it does is the machine learning is so advanced. This is where the AI is going now. It's super cool. It's able to predict the next frame and render it at 4K. It's super cool. That is the future. DLSS is definitely the future. Finally, we found a use for AI besides, you know, deep faking people's photos and things like that, you know. So I'm excited for that. When I read up about DLSS, it gets me super excited, because what it does is it allows us to not have to have a strain on our systems, you know. You'll get that 4K bump not at the cost of any like frame rates or having to buy better hardware, things like that, you know. Because we are slowly but surely reaching this cap. They reckon that the silicones and RAM and SSD, all of that stuff is slowly, we're going to see less and less improvements as time goes on. There's actually a whole like theory and a law around it. Like, you know, like Murphy's Law, but it's for technology. Alright, cool. On to the last piece of news for today. Feels like a Friday, but it's not. I think it's just that little bit of hype before Resident Evil Village tomorrow. I can't wait. Out of nowhere, they've decided to release Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, the original. We know that they're doing a remake of this where it's going to be third-person, co-op. Looks really cool, but I cannot believe that they're actually re-releasing Dark Alliance. Dark Alliance was my shit. I think I still have it down there. There was Dark Alliance, there was Champions of Norga. Oh my god. I can't believe they're doing this. So I think it's just a flat re-release, so don't expect something like what's going on with Diablo 2 right now. I think it does have 4K support. Yeah, but it's pretty cool. These games are so special. Baldur's Gate is awesome. I know Baldur's Gate 3 is doing its thing as well. These were super cool today. Great dungeon crawlers. Very, very satisfying stuff. I love it. I don't know why that's in the way. Polygon. Gonna Polygon, I suppose. Polygon! So yeah, I think that's coming out maybe tomorrow. Well, it's just available now. I think it's around, I think it might be $29.99, I want to say. Which is not a bad price for it. I would have maybe pushed for a little bit lower, but still, it's nice. The cool thing about the remake, which I think they're just calling something like Yeah, they think they're just calling it Dark Alliance. It doesn't even have the Baldur's Gate name in it, but we know what it is. I think that's launching for $40 as well. So I like to see this happening. There's a Necromunda game from Warhammer coming out, and that's only going to be $40 as well. It's awesome to see these. They don't need to be so afraid of releasing games a little bit under, you know, the full price. You just got to keep an eye out for these things. And like I was saying earlier, the stores are getting better and better in doing pre-order bonuses, which I like. Instead of your usual, you know, little DLC and that, you're getting bonuses where, yeah, it says available now. Yeah, it's pretty much out on everything, which is pretty cool. Let me just see if I can pause it there. Yeah, PS4, PS5, Switch even. My God, that would be so good to play it on the Switch. Are you kidding me? Yeah, so games like Deathloop, which I know a lot of people are excited for and still kind of wondering what it is. That already has like a pre-order bonus, so you can get like almost a tenner off that already, and that's just straight up on the PlayStation Store. So that's really cool. I'm hoping that, you know, if we are pushing towards a majority share in digital games rather than physical, you know, if it's 80-20 or something like that. That these manufacturers and platform holders actually, you know, give us some goddamn discounts. At the end of the day, when they sell the digital game, they're getting 90% of that right into their pocket. There's no shipping costs, no manufacturing costs, no disc dying or anything, you know. So please, can we have the, you know, give us the discounts. I don't want to see games go into the €85 territory. Anyway, it's super cool to see Dark Alliance back. They probably won't remaster the second one. It's just, this is basically their little tie-in with, you know, the remake. What I would have done as a cool thing is have this as like a cheeky little Easter egg. Have the whole game unlock in the remake, you know, for free. But, I mean, you know, you gotta make some money. You gotta make some money. So, yeah, it's pretty cool that they've done that for sure. Diablo 2 is going to be amazing. It's a remake from the ground up. That's the way to do it. Anyway, so that's all the news for today. End with a little bit of blast from the past. I love it. Yeah, they're calling it D&D Dark Alliance. So I suppose it all comes back to that. But you still kind of miss seeing the Baldur's Gate name there. Bomb. Yeah, Steam are taking a good chunk. You're right. God damn, these ads drive me bonkers. They do. Bonkers. I think Xbox are trying to slowly undercut their revenue share. They want to bring it back down to something like 18%, which is, I think, what Epic does right now. That's why so many games do release over there, you know. It's a huge difference. Like, for us, we just see it as percentages and numbers, but, you know, that's on every single copy. And the difference in something, even as small as 12%, could be the difference in keeping your lights on just a little bit longer until you can put out another game. So hell yeah, I didn't know, but I think that new Oddworld Soulstorm game is meant to be a remake of the original Oddworld. How did I miss that? I do have it. It was a PS Plus one. I need to play it, but goddamn, I didn't know that. I'm usually up on these things. Alright, cool. That is everything for today. We'll see about the PS5 Slim. It's definitely something that's gonna come. This is very early reports, you know. But you know, whether it'll be next year, the year after, we'll see. It could be a cheeky way of Sony moving around these issues, because I don't see these shortages changing too much. Boop. Damn it, just played another album. Come. Yeah, I don't see it changing too much. Like I said, things will get better near the end of the year, you know, as the world starts to get back to normal again. But then you're gonna have that Christmas rush and the Black Friday rush, so they're gonna be snapped up again. What I hope happens, you know, I don't wish bad on anybody, but these scalpers are less than human. What I hope happens is that the production ramps up so much that these scalpers are stuck with these $500 machines that no one wants to buy, you know, at their jacked up prices. If you can avoid using scalpers, please do, because you just legitimize what they're doing. It's a horrible way of, especially a time when people were living almost close to the poverty line, you know, waiting for those stimulus checks and things like that. You're gonna go and charge, you know, quadruple price for a piece of plastic. Anyway, well, I always say, like, if it's just yourself doing it, you know, it's not that big a deal. You want to make a cheeky little profit. I get that, but apparently there's, you know, some of these websites that deal with the scalpers had upwards of, you know, 10,000 fucking PS5s. How do you even report on numbers at that point? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Alright, cool. That was today's Daily Dose of Gaming. Thank you for joining me. Tomorrow will be the Friday Daily Dose. We do take a break over the weekend because a lot of the news gets regurgitated. But yeah, I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy. I'm happy doing this again. This is usually how we start our stream. Try and keep it below an hour, which, you know, it's hard sometimes. It just depends on what news there is. If there's not a whole lot of news, I usually will go over a couple of new releases and things like that. But yeah, let me slide into a game. On today's game, we're going to get into Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We're going to put this baby to bed. We're going for the platinum. I'm like 6 trophies away from completely platinum in the game. I'm super excited. We're going to finish it. I don't care if it takes me all night. This usually gets me in bad trouble. Whenever I say ending in the title, the universe comes along and kicks me in the nuts. I once had to play a game for 9 hours because I was stubborn as hell. Because I was convinced that every other mission was the ending and it just wasn't. Some games have a problem with ending like that. There you go. Alright, cool. Let me just quickly change over the... Boop. Change over the stream title. Yeah, that's a little bit of the Midnight Plan there. Really cool new synthwave band. They've also very graciously, you know, said on their Twitter to allow streamers to use their music, which is really cool. And it's true. They don't mute my streams at all. Unfortunately, YouTube has other ideas.